Season 10, round number 6 here at Aragon for Division 2. We have the championship leader rolling out of pit lane to be the first rider onto the circuit, running the hard front tyre. So, quick look at the championship standings, which I have been informed is wrong in terms of Aaron Jacko, but he's not doing the greatest, so it doesn't actually affect the pecking order. So, Rolge leads the standings on 62 points, with Dreaded Head 15 behind, with Ropey, Hitstick, and Legendary all tied for third place. So I have to wait and see how that pans out. So I don't know exactly how these guys have been doing. Aaron Jacko has told me that he apparently has set a lap time that is in the top 10 on the time trial leaderboards. Time trial isn't everything though, as the feeling from time trial to online is a little bit different in the bike. And plus, if you've not been practicing with the fuel on and then that kind of stuff, you know, it can be a bit of an outlier. So just have to wait and see. And Rolge nearly took the front into turn 1, it ran a bit wide, but just about held it together through turns number 2 and 3, missing that apex as well. I don't quite know the and Rolge is invalidated. I don't quite know the markers here because I'm yet to run a lap around Aragon since I don't have to on this game as of yet. I probably won't actually, given it's a historical track now, I probably actually won't have to until the next game, assuming Aragon's back on the cert calendar. Oh, that's good. So, I'll have a quick nosy at the settings. Overlay options. Mute microphone. Just I can. Right, apologies for that quick intermission. Problems have not been solved as of yet. I'm sure we can fix them. Hopefully it's just a glitch in the system. But anyway, Skyadif running the Colin Via-esque 95 as he approaches the final corner. The camera work isn't the greatest, I have to say. It's a bit hit and miss through some corners. It's like there's no steady cam or on any kind of stand. It's just floating. And Skyadif sets at 44.2. I have absolutely no clue how fast that is. I assume it's a somewhat decent banker lap, but we'll have to wait and see as Aaron Jacko rounds the final turn on board the Prima Pramac Ducati. And he goes into second, and Rolge is red sector 1 Minmon, the number 69, heads down the hill and outbrakes himself, but somehow keeps the lap valid. Mr. Hitstick with a red sector 1, so maybe Hadith's first sector wasn't the best. You can see Mini just struggling to turn the bike there, get the bike laned over, and he goes into 4th place. Rolled once again invalidating, has missed the hit stick now, who is following Aaron Jacko, sets a personal best sector 2. So Hadif was really strong in that second sector as Aaron Jacko goes down at turn number 12 or 11. I don't quite know how the cornering system works. As Ginge has gone down. There were 46 on board the Castrol Honda. Don't quite know why you'd go for 46, but I mean, obviously he's a Rossi fan, but you generally 46 on an LCR Honda doesn't make much sense in my eyes. But anyway, who cares? As last week's winner, Legendary, he's opened his account up with a 1.5 second gap to Skyleaf. So he set a 46.8 on the nose. So be looking to close that gap down. He was as expected, very competitive at his home circuit at Le Mans. So hopefully that can translate here in Aragon, in the Spanish desert. As Mini enters the final corner, he needs to enter a little bit wide than he has been doing, but he's holding that tighter line, but he's opened it up a little bit better, so that's good. And a little bit of lag, but he crosses the line and he improves his time by 6 tenths per second, but remains in 4th place as of now. But Dreaded Head, one of the championship protagonists on board the RSGP factory Aprilia, a massive wheeler. We're seeing that a lot with these Aprilias. I don't know if it's the settings they're running, whether they have an extremely short bike or they're my head's gone. Something to do with their rebound or their damping, but I don't know. Maybe or maybe it's just a characteristic of the bike. Who knows? But anyway, hit stick down through the final turn. Doesn't look smooth. I can imagine this corner being a bit of a nightmare on this game with the pickup, and he's going to immediately box. So here comes Ginge, and he's completely outbroke himself. But because he's lost time, the lap time hasn't invalidated itself. Into the chicane. And hard onto the gas, out of the chicane, onto the really long, kilometre-ish long straight. He seems to have got the line right through here. Hard on the gas. And he goes to second. Nice stuff. Dreaded Head now into the final turn. 3.7 seconds off. That is surely going to improve. He's shown a lot more potential than this season, and he goes to 7th. I'm thinking he hasn't practiced. That's my vibe so far. As Skydiff missed the last round for whatever reason, but he lost big points because of it. He still can be a championship protagonist, but he has got some work to do. He's got to basically win all the races remaining and hope that Rolls has an absolute stinker. As Aaron Jacko now approaches the 3rd sector now. The front end is easily able to wash out there, as Jake Dixon proved last year. And many others have before him. And Hadif goes down at turn 1. So Aaron now applying the Desmo Tadici power. And now he approaches the final corner. Nice wide line. He's going to cut back for the late apex. Sit the bike up, power on. Ride out the vice, minimise the wheelie across the line, and he moves into second place. Change boxes. And rolls now. Who seems to maybe about to run out of fuel from the sounds of the bike. Does set a red sector 3. But is he going to have to box? He goes for the final turn. All is good. He's going to power up to the line, even though the bike doesn't sound like it. He goes up to the line. And it is second place, 99 thousandths of a second from pole position. I missed the hit stick. 3.4 seconds off, but that was through a trip in the pit lane. Personal best in sector 2. Oh, and he's validated. The American just struggling at the moment as he runs through the kitty litter. He's got 3 minutes left, so he can either box quickly and go out again, or just keep lapping round. Totally his preference. Well, majority riders in the pits are on invalid laps. So the top 4 separated by just over half a second. Hopefully the gap can improve on these final runs. So he goes legendary sign. His second to last lap. Sky Deef on a lap now. Personal best in sector 1. It seems that his opening sector wasn't the strongest on his banker lap. So we'll have to wait and see. Can he keep the momentum up as he approaches the second sector now? And it's another red sector. Hard braking now down to turn 11 or 12. And he's completely ran on, and the other Aprilis fold him. So he completely folds him, and unfortunately, because of the camera work, it hasn't shown what's actually happened to Deef. Let's see. I don't know if Aaron Jack is on a lap here or an out. What kind of lap he's on? I think he's on an out lap. Mr. Hitstick, though, he's definitely on a lap. As he approaches the first sector point. About now? Oh, he is on an out lap. Never mind. Fitted Head now starting his final lap after following Hadif into turn 10. Hard on the brakes into turn 1, a big snap from the front end. He makes the corner nicely. Now into turn 2. If it was in real life in the colder condition, why is he? I don't know why he's running hard. But I guess that must be the better tyre for him. Must be the tyre that helps him generate lap time, which is obviously a good thing for the race. He's completely outbroke himself into that corner there, turn 5, that is, and into turn 7. And he is improving as he approaches the downhill corkscrew, the reverse corkscrew. Turns 8. And 9, and then into the markers corner of turn 10. But I don't quite know if after this corner the little left-hander is classed as a corner or a straight. So that's where I get confused whether it's turn 11 or 12. I assume this is a corner though. But anyway, downhill braking seems quite conservative. There's now another downhill chicane. You got to keep this tight, but he hasn't. Though he's made it more tight, so you're going to punch out the corner. You're not going to get the grace of exits because you're not on the other side of the circuit. Rolled, his session is done. Ginge though is improving. Where's Ginge on track? Ginge up to the line. And he improves by a little bit. Fader improves, but not by the margin he would have hoped for. There's Minmon now. Another improvement. Could he jump Legendary? He's only going to find it round about 2/10, but Legendary's improving. Aaron Jacko, Red Sector 2. Keep an eye on the Yorkshireman. I'm sure he's had a few Yorkshire puddings today. As now Minmon comes to the line and he loses out on that final sector. Legendary will finish P5 more than likely. He improves by 4/10 of a second. Mr. Hitstick improved the sector. Aaron Jacko though, he's lost time in the third sector. It's going to be full commitment now into this final corner to try and nab pole position or at least get rolled for second place. Hard on the gas up to the line. This is probably the best we've seen of Aaron Jacko so far. Up to the line, and he does improve, but not by enough.
That's the end of the
Sorry, Skydeep, pole position, rolled second, Aaron Jacko third, Ginge fourth, Hitstick fifth, Legendary sixth, Minmon seventh, and Dreaded Head in eighth. And I don't believe there's anybody else ready, so we can just get straight going. Just waiting on Ginge, then we can start the lobby. Right, let's go. Functional VTR won't be with us because, for some strange reason, his voice isn't being shared. We seem to both have the same settings, but I don't know. Right, so we are Skydeep on pole position. And we're off. And Roll just had a terrible start from the front row of the grid, dropping all the way to 6th. He's probably had wheel spin, imagine, and Ginge sends it up the inside into turn 1, but he's completely broke himself. Aaron Jacko's gone down at turn 1, I can't believe it. But it's Skydeep who leads the way in front of Mr. Hitstick in second and Ginge in third, and he's been forced out wide by Roll, who's probably frustrated about a poor start. And look at Legendary now into moving up the inside of the championship leader. Legendary runs wide, joint third in the championship with Hitstick and somebody else, I can't remember. And probably a Deef, I'd imagine. But they're down into the reverse corkscrew now. It's getting really close to the back of the KTM. Hitstick, he's been a consistent podium finisher this season. Holding the brakes into touch. Oh, Ginger's the back off the KTM. And he's just gone down. And he's, oh my god. Oh my god. That is, I don't, that's a warning. Not track limits. Ginger just breaking too hard into that corner there, and unfortunately at the back of Hitstick, and it was just a Constantina effect, and down he went. And Minmon goes up the inside of Dreaded Head through the final corner and moves into 4th place. So this race really opens up, but Rolls probably got the best of that there. He just about avoided all that chaos, and the two Rebel KTMs are now down in 6th and 7th. Sky Leaf though 2 seconds in the lead. We'll have to wait and see how that pans out. But Rolge, 2nd place, he hasn't had podium the past 2 races, so he'll be looking to try and just at least get back onto the box, because it is going to be important. Ginge in 3rd place. After all that melee at turn 11, that was probably down to him. As now we approach the 2nd sector, but Ginger's got to be careful, because he's got Minmon and Dreaded Head approaching. As we go down the reverse corkscrew, big slide from the Prima Pramac Ducati and Dreadhead. Was not close enough to make any form of attack. Aaron Jacko down in last place after 2 crashes on the opening lap. Consistency really is just his problem. He seems to improve the pace a little bit, he's gaining a bit of understanding, but still just lacking that something. But he always seems to find at the end of a season, and then you go back to the next season and he just loses it all again. Oh, Minnie's gone down. He's done, well, Chaz Davies, but Alvaro Bautista, lots of people have done, so many people have crashed down there. Quattararo, I mean, it's not the exact same crash as Quattararo had in 2020, but still just going in, fold the front because it's downhill, a little bit off camber. And the 2 Prima Pramac Ducatis are down in last. Hadif though out in front, 1.7 seconds fastest lap of the race as well. Ginge seems to have broken free from Dreaded Head after a mistake from Minmon. Ginge going for the medium tyre, so we'll have to wait and see how that pans out. It's the cooler conditions, so there is effectively possibly more grip, because Aragon can be quite hot, especially if you give it in the desert, but it is in September time when this race usually was held, so sometimes the temperatures wouldn't be the hottest, depending on the time, obviously depending on the weather, but usually it's a really sunny race. But anyway, I'm waffling too much as we see Rebel KTMs now closing in on Dreaded Head, Hitstick and Legendary. So we got Aprilia, Honda, Aprilia, KTM, Ducati. Legendary just doesn't seem to have the same sort of pace that he had in Le Mans. And he has also gone for the medium rear tire. Just check what Hadif has run. He's running here at the front. Medium rear also, Rolge, medium rear. So seems like the medium rear is the favoured option compared to Dreaded Head, who's gone for the hard rear. So have to just wait and see how all that pans out. But Hitstick is closing the gap, and Aaron Jacko is closing in on Legendary. We've actually seen a move here into the final corner, holding the brakes from 6th to 3rd gear. He just barges his way past Legendary, but Legendary's going to force his way through, and that is a nice little battle there between the two. Legendary forcing his way back on his former title rival Aaron Jagger from a couple of seasons ago, as he now head into turn 1 once more. Running the curb, I'd imagine that's quite dangerous, but I'm not too sure, as Aaron Jagger looking for turn 2. This is not motor free. So now we're going to turn number. Jesus, oh, he's down. I think he was just being a bit too impatient, a bit too aggressive, and down he goes. And meanwhile, Mr. Hitstick has found his way past Dreaded Head, and Dreaded Head is starting to fall into the clutches now with the other KTM. So Dreaded Head just seems to have a lack of pace, possibly down to that hard rear tyre. possibly making the wrong choice. Usually in these races you do pick the harder tyre, but in these cooler conditions maybe you just can't generate that temperature you need for the hard tyre. Maybe it just spins up a little bit too much. Also does depend on your settings as well, and people might have been able to work out how to use the medium rear tyre better than the hard in race distance. But they're taking a completely wrong line into that downhill left 90-degree left-hander, and now that's left Legendary up for the chance of moving into the top 5. He's even got a better exit. He's in the slipstream. He's got the better run, but unfortunately he's just met the Aprilia at the wrong spot. He's in the slipstream using the KTM power, pulls to the left, and pretty simple pass for the Frenchman. And Rolls now is on the move, closing in on Sky Deef. We start lap 5 of 12, first third of the race done. Straight his head looking up the inside into turn 1 of Legendary. He makes contact and he goes through. Aggressive, but it's fair enough. Give him a warning, just make him run. Try and make him run a little bit cleaner. Oh, he's run quite hard into that corner there, but he's got it back for the exit, so that's fine. As we now brake hard for turn 7. Just seems like I honestly just reckon he's just lack of practice, because he doesn't seem to have any sort of markers, any sort of the lines are wrong. So he's taking these corners way too fast and tight. Lester's all over the back of him, but he's not in the right place over there. But he's going to go up the inside for the long radius left-hander of turn 10 of Marco's corner, as he now goes down into turn 11 or 12. Taking a very tight line again. That's going to run him wide. Not able to take any kind of corner speed, but it just about holds off Legendary. And now into the chicane, there's the two Prima Private Ducatis are now battling. And Min 1 seems to have let Aaron Jacko straight through. Oh, and Aaron Jacko's gone down into the chicane. And Rolge now is on the back of Sky Leaf. The two Aprilias fighting for the race win now. Who's going to win? The Malaysian or the American? So often that you have those two nationalities fighting with each other. I don't think to my mind, there's no Malaysians on the MotoGP grid, and obviously you've got Joe Roberts and Sean Dillon Kelly in Moto2, but yeah, but you can't get that in GP at the moment. Legendary's gone down turn 5. That's a turn 4 even. That's a very strange one. So Hadif has got to hold off the championship leader. Can he do so? And if Rose does get through, will Hadif be able to fight back? Hadif really fast on entry there, but he has run quite wide. And Rhodes just seems to be that little bit smoother, a little bit calmer. As we now go into the chicane, and look at Rhodes, he's going to try and set up the exit, try and draft the RNF Aprilia down the straight. He'll be gaining. Can he make the move? And Aaron Jacob's gone down again. Rhodes is going to go around the outside of Hadif, and he's going to force it. He's going to force Hadif to go wide. Rhodes is going to turn the Aprilia underneath, but I just don't think he's got enough to go underneath yet. And Hadif holds on, but Rhodes is going to get the slipstream, but he's just hovering out there, probably just for the braking zone, just so he doesn't get sucked in into turn 1. And Hadif holds on for one more lap as we reach the second half of this race now. James in third place, nearly 2.5 seconds behind these two. But he seems to be, if he can just stay on the bike, he's got a nice, secure top 3 place. Not bad for your first race. As Rhodes taking a lot of inside curve there at turn 6 and getting quite a substantial amount of time. Turn 5, sorry, it's quite a substantial amount of time. And wow, Rolls' corner speed is something else, but Hadif just gained a little bit of a better exit compared to his factory I don't know the word. Beat it out. His fellow Aprilia rider, but anyway, approaching now the third sector. Rolls, I'm sure he's just scouting Hadif, trying to find where the best place to get through is. The easiest place to imagine has got to be the back straight. You just have to slipstream and Rolls is all over the back, and now he's going to. Oh, is he going to hold the? No. Look, he's going to hold back, fire the factory Aprilia out. But he has had a bit of wheelie there, but that's not going to stop him. And is he going to pull to the left this time? Yes, he does. And Rolls goes through and takes the lead of this race. Ooh, but Hadif's going to try and go round the outside of the American. He is going to get the better exit. He's going to be in the slipstream. He's going to pull out to the left-hand side. But I don't think he's going to be able to make any sort of move into turn one, or is he? He makes contact. He's going to try to go around the outside again, but he just can't quite get it done. And Rolls has successfully moved into the lead of this race. But knowing Hadif, he's going to fight back if he can. Oh, and a big head shake from the Aprilia. Hadif not been able to take the title line, so maybe it's something to do with the tyre pressures or the slipstream. It does affect the bike in different ways. And Rolls is wide, probably because it's the first time he hasn't had a marker in front of him. And it's just, you do have a little bit of a different feeling when you take the lead, when you've been in second for quite a while. So I'm sure we prefer this feeling as Hadif runs to the back of Rolls again. And if he's on the limit, he's trying to find his way back through on the American, the championship leader, who won all the races up till India, where Hadif took the double. And he's going to go round. There's no way he's going to get that stopped. He's not. Can't quite see him. He's going to rejoin in second. He's just been a little bit wild for my liking. Try and rein him down, calm him down. But now Hadif's in the slipstream. He's going to pull. It seems like maybe on the left and on the right battle, but unfortunately we've got to stick to battle at the front. Hadif, if he goes to pull to the left-hand side, and he moves straight back into the lead of this race. He blocks Rolls' path, and Rolls is forced to go off into the paint. Thankfully there's no gravel there, and Rolls is going to have all that work to do then again, as Legendary's gone down another time, so Legendary just not having the race he'd won, and he's got a long lap penalty for his troubles as well. And Rolls, wow, he's made up so much time up turn one, but that's probably why the front end's just completely snapped as he's got into the apex and has lost a lot of time. So 4 laps remaining. Hadif once again has got a 9/10 lead over Rolls, and Rolls has got all that work to do again. And with this fine, that's just allowed Ginge to keep tabs on them, but I generally think it's just, unless these two wipe each other out at the fastest at the final corner, or turn 11 or 12, I can't see Ginge having a chance at victory here. Oh, my mouth there, I thought Rolls had disconnected. But look at that, he's already closed in 6/10 or so and Hadif in the second sector. It's clear Rolls has a lot of pace, but Hadif is just doing it. Oh, and Rolls breaks himself again, so he's pushing. I think he's just pushing a little bit too hard. He just needs to relax. He's got the natural pace to close in. He's just got to be patient and wait. Try and outsmart Hadif, because Hadif, when you go against these aggressive riders, you've got to try and think like them and what they're going to do. It's important just to remain calm. Don't make any silly errors. Look how much time he gains on the straight in the slipstream, and he is firmly on the back of the RNF Aprilia once again. With when they cross the line, 3 laps will remain of this race. Is Rolls going to send it up? He's going to go round. No, he's going to hit the back of the RNF Aprilia, using Hadif to stop himself. He's going to go round the outs. No, he's not. He's going to maybe turn 3. No way. He's going to try it. Turn 3. Well, It's hard to do in turn 3 because you're on the gas all the time, really, and there's no real heavy braking to do. But I think Rolls is understanding he's got to do something unorthodox to scare Hadif, and if he can lead out of the first sector, and just put a decent sector 2 together. Oh, Legend's gone down again. If he can just do a decent sector 2, when lead, I think Rolls will have the race won. There's a massive wobble on the front, and so does Hadif. These two are both pushing so hard. The front tyres, even though it's hard, you know, the colder temperatures, there'll be a tiny bit of cold tear with the Michelin rubber. Also, with the medium rear, the other thing that that tyre's also giving out as well a little bit. But there's so much shaking from the tyres now. The edge grip is just completely dissipating, and you're just starting to get on that. You're starting to ride on marbles and just holding on for dear life, trying to stay on. But here we go down to the back straight once more. And look at Rhodes, he's going to gain and gain and gain and gain. Is he going to close in time? No, I don't think he is. Oh, Mimon's gone down at the downhill 90-degree left. So, penultimate lap time. Hadif has rode a brilliant racecraft. Where can Rolls make the move? He's got the straight's the easiest place, but can he send it? Here we go, up. No, I thought he was going to try the classic move into turn 5. Oh, and a little bit of a wheel spin as well on the exit. That rear tyre is definitely gone. You've just got to manage the gas. You've got to manage everything perfectly now, nice and smooth. And Ginger's not been dropped in the latter stage of this race here, so Ginger has some decent late race pace. But obviously with these guys fighting as well, making mistakes of their own. But Ginger, if he has this sort of pace in the next round, assuming he races in the next round, and he can just improve those first few laps, Ginger could be on for fighting for the win here. Down into the and Rolls just round wide. That might be it. That could be it for the race. We have to wait and see. As Hadif now has been granted a 1 second plus lead with just the last sector and one more lap to go. But Hadif can't afford to relax. He's got to keep the pace up because Rolls is going to be pushing harder than ever. He's now lost that little bit of dirty air, so he can ride his way and close back up to him. And look at that, he's already gained 6 tenths for 6 tenths. Sorry, he's already gained like 2 tenths, 3 tenths in that final corner alone. As a result of the final lap of this race, hard on the brakes for turn 1. Let's see how much margin Rolls can gain into turn 1. Not that much on Legendary, though, he's gone down again. But Rolls now 5 tenths the gap. This race isn't over. Rolls is going to try everything. I know he's going to set it. If he could just do his perfect enough last lap, he can attack into the final corner. Oh, and he's lost the front into turn number 5, pushing that really too much, and that now promotes Ginge into second place. Rolls, though, he's going to remain in third place, but Rolls just pushing too hard, making a couple of errors through the dirty air of Hadif. Hadif has held on strong. He's attacked back at Rolls, quite aggressive, admittedly, but just about getting the moves done. And it looks like Hadif now is going to ride. He's just got to be nice and careful, no mistakes. He's got Ginge 3.3 seconds behind. Take this corner nice and careful. No need to try and outbrake yourself. Nicely done there. And now just one more corner, 1 kilometre long straight, and then one more corner. And look at Hadif, he's already weaving side to side. I wouldn't be doing that just in case anything goes wrong in this last corner. It shouldn't do, because you would be going a little bit slower than normal. So you do have to adjust your braking marker. But Hadif rounds the final corner over the crest of the hill, and he wins here in Aragon. He makes it 3 in a row for him. Ginge finishes second, and Rolled is third. Mr. Hitstick finishes in 4th. What could have been if it hadn't been for his crash in the opening lap. He's ready to head. Will just about finish. And I think Minmon might be able to as well, but I have a feeling Legendary might struggle to finish. So Minmon now up to the line. And I do think Legendary's just going to miss out by the narrowest of margins. Yes, he does. So it's Skyleaf who wins for the 3rd time this season. Ginger's 2nd, Rolled back on the podium in 3rd. Mr. Hitstick in 4th, Traded Head 5th, Minmon 6th, Legendary 7th. And Aaron Jacko, who left, finishes in 8th. So we'll immediately get on to the interviews. So Rolled is already here. So Rolled, it was quite clear to see that, especially in the latter stages of the race, you had the fastest pace, but unfortunately Hadif was just holding you off and just making a few too many mistakes. But you must be at least happy to be back on the podium after a couple of races off it.
Yeah, it definitely feels good to be back on the podium. Struggled a little bit those last 2 races, so put in some extra time practicing to give myself the best chance possible. I mean, Hadif put up one hell of a fight the entire race. He was really hard to get around, and I ended up struggling with a lot of rear grip issues towards the end of the race, just spinning out pretty much every corner. So gave it all I had, pushed a little bit too hard on the last lap, but yeah, definitely be glad to be back on the podium and extending the leading championship.
Yep, congratulations on that. Oh, seems like my lobby's crashed or something. Oh, there's too many people left. Yeah, well done.
Thank you.
And now we move on to Skydeep. I don't know if Ginge is even in the chat. I hope he is, but he isn't in the party at the moment. But we'll move on to Skydeep. So, Hardy, it was a pretty perfect race. You got pole, you got the win. You did have a little battle with Rhodes, but you held on, and it was a fantastic victory. Yep, congratulations, great riding. So I've added Ginger to the party, but I'm not sure if he'll join. I'll just give him about a minute or so. Yeah, I think we'll leave it there. So that was round number 6 of Division 2. We're back in over an hour's time for Division 1, where we all know who's going to win the race. But it should be a good battle for second from what I hear. So goodbye.